Om Jnanatmirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvaitam Samadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Saganlita Shri Vishakamitam Sha Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauda Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we are in verse number 11 of chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita. So we saw in the previous verses how Krishna described the two levels of Ashtanga Yoga, that is Yoga Aruruksha and Yoga Aruda. And uh, in that we saw the different stages. Yama, that is don'ts. Niyama, that is do's. Asana is the bodily exercise. Pranayama is the breathing exercise. Then Pratyahara is withdrawing the senses from the sense objects. Then Dharana is fixing the mind on the Lord's form. Then Dhyan is intensified meditation on the Lord. And Samadhi is complete absorption. So these 8 stages we saw. And then we saw how mind can be a friend or an enemy. Depends of how you treat the mind. So if it is uncontrolled, then it's our enemy. If it is controlled, then it's our friend. And then we saw the symptoms of a person who is in yoga aruda stage, the highest stage. How he is controlled, his mind, he has attained tranquility, and is neutral to dualities and satisfied in knowledge and realization. This we saw last time. And then we saw what are the practices in yoga aruda stage. Now today we are going to see the basic practices of Ashtanga Yoga. That is the beginning stages of Yoga Aruruksha stage. So what are that? So we'll see from 11 to 14 verses, and then goal in the 15th verse, and then recommendation in 16, 17 verse, and further 18 to 23 verses, we'll see the perfectional stage of Ashtanga Yoga. So let's start with verse number 11 and 12. Susam dese pratishthapya sitam asanam atmana Nati uchitaram nati nicham chailajina kushotaram tatraikagram mana kritva eta chittendriya kriya upavishyasane yunjat yogamatma vishuddhaye. To practice yoga, one should go to a secluded place and should lay kusha grass on the ground and then cover it with a deer skin or a soft skin. And a soft skin. The seat should neither be too high nor too low, and it should be situated in a sacred place. The yogi should then sit on it very firmly and practice yoga to purify the heart by controlling his mind, senses, and activities and fixing the mind on one point. So, first of all, to practice Ashtanga Yoga, it cannot be practiced in cities. It should be like jungle or some secluded place. And then what happens? One lays kusha grass. So kusha grass is very auspicious for all the yagyas and all it is used. So one lays kusha grass and then covers with deer skin. So deer skin, why? So that when the deer skin is there, the insects and all will not come much and he'll be protected. And the seat should neither be too high nor too low. So if the seat is too low, then there's a fear of small animals coming. And if it's too high, then one is fearful of maybe falling down or something. So that means it should be not too high, too low. and should be situated in sacred place. So sacred place is very important. It should not be situated in a dirty place or somewhere. Otherwise, it's not possible to do yoga. And then yoga, the yogi should sit firmly. So he should sit firmly and practice yoga. And what is the why one practice yoga is to purify the heart. And heart purification is done by controlling his mind, senses, and activities, and fixing the mind on one point. So these are practices which is to be done by the Ashtanga yogi. Purport: sacred place refers to places of pilgrimage. In India, the yogis are translated by devotees. All leave home and reside in sacred places such as Prayaga, Mathura, Vrindavana, Rishikesh, Haridwar, and in solitude practice yoga where the sacred rivers like the Yamuna and the Ganga flow. So this is a practice in India in custom like after one attains the age, one leaves home and goes to north. Still now it is practiced in so many areas and so many homes that once they reach a certain age, then they leave all the responsibility of their home. They give it to their next generation and then leave the home. And while leaving the home, nobody knows where they are going and whether they'll come back or no, it's not known. So they'll go to these places and they'll only leave their body and nothing will be known. And previously, we seen Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, kings used to do the same way. They used to go to some places like Prayag, Mathura, Vrindavan, Rishikesh, Haridwar, and there he should practice yoga. And then second is the sacred rivers like Yamuna and Ganga flow. So we have seen whatever civilization grows, it grows besides the river. So if there is no river, the civilization will not grow. And Ganga, Yamuna, and all actually in modern science they consider it as H2 or water, but in ancient things it is considered as Mother Gange. And it's always vibrating the song of Hare Krishna mantra vibrations and all. So wherever people stay that place, if people take bath for a long time in Yamuna and Ganga, naturally they'll become devotees. So this is a point that if we see major temples, major civilizations are near the river, and therefore this river should be very much protected, and otherwise most of civilization will be lost. But often this is not possible, especially for Westerners. The so-called yoga societies in the big cities may be successful in earning material benefit, but they are not at all suitable for actual practice of yoga. So this practice is not suitable in West because not much forest like this sacred forests are there. And the so-called yoga practices are mostly like bodily exercises and they earn so much material benefit, but not suitable for linking it with Lord. So yoga means how to link ourselves with Lord. That's the actual meaning of yoga. So one who is not self-controlled and whose mind is not undisturbed cannot practice meditation. Very important thing, self-control and undisturbed mind. So how self-control comes? When one controls eating habit, one speaking habit, then gradually one develops some control over himself. Otherwise, it's not possible. And therefore, if one is not self-controlled, then it's not easy to practice meditation and whose mind is not undisturbed. So when we speak unnecessarily, what happens is our mind gets irritated and therefore one cannot practice meditation nicely. Therefore, the first thing which Srila Rupa Goswami says in Nectar of Instruction is Vacho Vegam Mansa Kurodha Vegam Jiva Vegam Udarupasta Vegam. And this is very important point to note that first thing he says, and this is for all people to come, all leaders and everyone. If they cannot control that tongue, if they cannot control the speaking, they will never ever be able to attain perfection. Therefore, very important thing that gradually, day by day, we should have control over these things. And it happens by practice. If whatever happens, it will happen by practice. In the long term, it will happen. It will not happen shortly. And therefore, one needs to be very, very patient and just go on trying. Therefore, in the Brahma Naradiya Purana, it is said that in Kali Yuga, the present Yuga or age, when people in general are short-lived, slow in spiritualization, and always disturbed by various anxieties, the best means of spiritualization is chanting the holy name of the Lord. So, Brihan Naradiya Purana, it is said that people are short-lived, so people don't have much life, and most people are short-lived not because of lack of the things, but because of irregular habits. The habits of eating, sleeping, and all are very irregular, and therefore the life is reduced. And slow in spiritualization, so very slow. So we don't have much people attending Gita classes. Even if you advertise, even if you tell it is for free, not many come. Very, very slow. It takes long time. And therefore, we should read the association for long years, 5, 10, 15 years, and then gradually we'll understand the deeper meanings and deeper aspects of all Krishna. So people say that teach me Gita in 1 day, 1 hour, or 18 days, or month, or it cannot happen. It cannot happen. It has to be years and years that one can understand Gita and scriptures. Why? Because it is not the speaker, it is the hearer who doesn't have the capacity to understand the first thing. The first thing is the hearer doesn't have the capacity. Like if somebody wants to take some liquid, he needs to have some vessel. If there is no vessel, if and the from upside the liquid comes, somebody pours liquid, it will go in the ground. Similarly, one doesn't have the capacity to understand things, one doesn't have the discussion power. Even if one is hearing such things, he will not be able to understand things. Because understanding is given by the Lord from the heart. And therefore, very important that one should try to chant the holy name and try to uh, read as much as can. So some things will be understood while hearing, some things will be understood by discussion, some things will be understood by reading, and some things will be understood by time. So some of the things will never be understood now, why it is this, but with time goes, 5, 10 years, then let's oh, this was thing like this, it happened. So therefore, slow in spiritualization and always disturbed by various anxieties. So you're always disturbed, like now it's too hot. It's a time of rain, but rains are not coming. So last month it was a season of summer, but rain started coming. So always disturbed by various anxieties. And therefore, the best means is chanting the holy name of God. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam eva kevalam. Kalauna sevana sevana seva gati anyatha. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is chanting the holy name of the Lord. There is no other way, no other way, no other way. So, when something has to be emphasized, it is repeated again and again. Therefore, it may seem redundant that 3 times it said no other way, no other way, no other way. So, why? And above also the Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam. 3 times it is said that holy name, holy name, holy name. Why? To make that point clear that there is no other way, no karma, no jnana, no ashtanga, only bhakti, and that also chanting the holy name. Others will things will not work. It may work for 1 or 2 people, maybe somebody, but it will not work for general mass. General mass, there will always be Harinam. And therefore we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went to in public in general, he always used to chant Kirtan. And when he used to speak with scholars one-on-one, like Sarvam Bhattacharya, Prakashan Saraswati, there he would discuss philosophy. Otherwise, in general, he would just chant, dance, and by just doing this, so many people became devotees. And therefore, this is the only means, and only means. There are no other ways. And then 13, 14 other things which needs to do. Samam kayo shiro grivam dharayan achalam sthira samaprekshya nasikagram swam disachana Pashantatma vigata bhe brahmachari vrata sita manasamyamya matchitto yukta sita matpara. One should hold one's body, neck, and head erect in a straight line and stare steadily at the tip of the nose. Thus, with an unedited, subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of the life. So, very important, if we want to concentrate on something, we should sit erect. If we're not sitting erect, we'll not be able to concentrate for long. It's not easy, difficult, easy. And second thing, if we are not erect sitting, if we are hunching forward, what happens is our health is at risk. Our health is at a great risk because we cannot inhale oxygen because the lungs capacity is being reduced. And therefore, we see there are so many health diseases, especially in this time, breathing disease and all. Why? Because of bodily posture. So if bodily posture is not right, one cannot practice yoga. Therefore, one needs to correct it as far as possible. And then one is to stay steadily at the tip of the nose. So why tip of the nose? Because when you see at the tip of the nose, what happens is your eyes are half closed. So if they are completely closed, you will sleep. If they are completely open, you will see so many things. But when you stare at tip of the nose, what happens? It's half closed, and therefore steadily stare, and then unagitated, a subdued mind. So one should be unagitated. So for that, what can one do? One can do pranayam, anulom vilom or something, so that mind becomes subdued, and then devoid of fear. So very important. One should not have fear that if I do go in jungle and do this, somebody will kill. Then better not to go in jungle. Do it one homes. And then completely free from sex life. This is one of the most important thing, which is not at all taken seriously in today's world. And the most important thing which happened is after the Gurukuls were closed is co-education. So because of the co-education, one cannot be free from sex life, because from childhood, when we see that Matajis and Prabhujis, they sit together, they talk together, they see each other, it's very, very difficult to be abstaining from that. And therefore, we see in today's time, there are so many abortions and so many things. And another thing is, when one does not practice brahmacharya, depression, suicide, and all increases at a big scale. And therefore, very important to practice brahmacharya. That doesn't mean that one does not get married. One gets married, but one associates with one's wife or husband only for the reason of creation or begetting a child, and not for other reasons, and not for, especially not for enjoyment. So that is not the reason. And one who lives life in grasa life like this is also called a brahmachari. And therefore, very important factor, if one wants to practice bhakti in the long run, one should practice brahmacharya. Otherwise, very difficult to practice brahmacharya, bhakti in the long run. One should meditate upon me within the heart. So one should meditate upon Paramatma in the heart for Ashtanga Yogi, and make me the ultimate goal of life. So the goal of life should be Krishna, not any other things. If the goal of life is to become rich or some other things, then we'll miss the bus. Purport. The goal of life is to know Krishna, who is situated within the heart of every living as Paramatma, the 404 Vishnu form. So, what is the difference between Paramatma and Krishna is, Paramatma is neutral. If we have credits, he will allow us to do something. If we don't have credits, he will not allow. So he's neutral. He just sees and sanctions. But Krishna, when he is in our heart, he takes charge. If something is not right, he will tell us, oh, do like this, do like this. He will guide us. So therefore, for devotees of Krishna, Krishna himself comes in the heart as Paramatma. For others, they are Paramatma, but for devotees, he is situated in our heart. And therefore, we should be think that we should be very fortunate, because Krishna is residing in our heart. And daily when we are chanting, hearing, gradually we are purifying our heart, so that Krishna may reside there for long. And actually, what happens is we chant and Krishna purifies our heart. That is the whole thing, because our heart can be cleansed only by Krishna, by his holy name and all. We actually don't have much power to do anything. The yoga process is practiced in order to discover and see this localized form of Vishnu, and not for any other purpose. So the main reason why this breathing exercise, this asana and all is done, is to see Vishnu, and not for building body, so that one may use it for sensation. So we see in the West and now culture in India also, people go for yoga, for gym and all. Why? So that they can build a good body, so that they can enjoy more. So that is not the case. One's body is been built so that one can serve the Lord. That is the whole reason, not for enjoyment. And anyways, one's body, however strong it may be, human life is not meant for enjoyment. One's body will never ever cooperate when you go for enjoyment. Not at all possible. if you see anything like eating, somebody likes something, one eats more, what happens? He gets diabetes. And similarly, if one sees more than required, if somebody likes seeing so many things, he sees TV and television and so many things, what happens? His sleep gets disturbed, he has eye disease, and after some time, his whole body will break down. He'll not be able to do that also. And similarly with other things also, if one wants to enjoy with opposite partner or something, how much one can? There's limitation. After sometimes the person will get so many diseases, he'll be tired and so many things. So if we see any enjoyment, human life is not meant for that, and therefore one will definitely not be able to do it more. But what about service? One can serve unlimitedly. The whole life one can serve according to one capacity. One can chant the whole life. We have seen so many devotees chanting 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh names. Practically out of 24 hours, 18 to 20 hours every day they are just chanting. So therefore, human life is meant for self-realization. That is the only goal of human life. Others, all goals will today or tomorrow be an impediment for us. They will not be helping us in any way. And even if we want to progress in material life, we need blessings of Krishna only. Suppose we make factories, we make it work and everything. And if Daiva or Krishna is not on side, what happens? He'll bring some bhukam, some cyclone, or some government raid or something, and the whole industry will collapse. So even if we want to progress in material world also, we need the blessings of the divine Krishna. Otherwise, it's not possible, and therefore human life is not meant for enjoyment, but for serving the Lord. So the localized Vishnu Murti is a planetary representative of Krishna dwelling within one's heart. So from Krishna comes Balrama, then from that comes Chaturvya, then from Sankarshan comes again Chaturvya, and from that comes Mahavishnu and Garbhodaya Vishnu, Karnadesa Vishnu all. And this is how the sequence is, how they all come. So it also planetary represents. So it's expansion of Krishna, and therefore is dwelling within one's heart. One who has no program to realize this Vishnu Murti is uselessly engaged in mock yoga practice and certainly wasting his time. So one can practice yoga, but his whole goal is that one should reach Krishna, otherwise wasting time. Krishna is the ultimate goal of life. And the Vishnu Murti situated in one's heart is the object of yoga practice. To realize this Vishnu Murti within the heart, one has to observe complete abstinence from sex life. So again, what we talk, sex life and self-realization go ill together. So therefore, if one enjoys more than necessary, one will not be able to do his bhakti. Impossible. Therefore, one has to leave home and live in alone secular place, remaining seated mentioned above. One cannot enjoy sex life daily at home or elsewhere and attend so-called yoga class and thus become a yogi. One has to practice controlling the mind and avoiding all kinds of sensations, of which sex life is the chief. So, in the rules of celibacy written by the great sage Yajnavalkya said, Karmana manasa vacha sarvavastasu sarvada sarvata maithuno tyago brahmacharyam prachakshate. The vow of brahmacharya is meant to help one complete abstinence from sex and indulgence in work, words and mind at all times, and all places. So it is not the physical activity. More than the physical activity, what is more probably is the activity in the mind. When the mind thinks that it's pleasurable. See, actually, if somebody indulges in it, one will understand that there is no pleasure. But what happens by hearing, by controlling mind, one thinks, oh, maybe not this time, maybe next time I will get pleasure. Maybe not this way, that way. So in this way, mind cheats oneself. And therefore, one should abstain from even from words. One should not talk about it to others, and away even from mind. So one should not meditate on sense of even mind also. Sometimes what happens if we see something, what happens is once we see, but our mind is continuing again and again. It brings the picture back, So one should curtail one's mind also not to again bring back the old things, the old sensitive things. No, otherwise Wherever our mind is, we are. And therefore, mind is called our enemy, and therefore, we will not be able to progress in our spiritual life. And therefore, see what's done at all times and under all circumstances, in all places. Very important thing, at all times. So, we should practice this. That doesn't mean that one should not indulge. See, one can indulge if the motive is to have a Krishna conscious child. That's all. And that will come again in Bhagavad Gita, also further chapters, where Krishna will say that I am that sex which is not opposite to dharma and which is there for procreation. So that is allowed. Other than is not allowed. And therefore, one should try that one does not indulge by work, words, or even in mind at all times, all circumstances. So sometimes the circumstances are such like we are walking. There are so many billboards nowadays which show such a picture that immediately one mind will turn that. So in that circumstance also, one should restrain in all places. So places also what to tell. In public places also we see that so many people doing so much nonsense. And therefore, we should try. It's not easy. I understand it's very difficult and it will not happen in a day. It will take its own time. We should not worry, but this is we should know this is a principle. So as a principle, we should know what is to be done and where we are and what is the principle to be where we need to reach. We should understand the gap between and gradually, maybe 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5, whatever the time may be, we should reach to the goal. That needs to be done. And therefore, here we are discussing principles. So if one is not be able to do or something else, one should not worry. Kali Yuga is not easy to do. And therefore, the places are such, circumstances are such, and times are such, it's very difficult. And if the Gurukuls are again started and this co-education stop, it will help a long, long way for this. Otherwise, it's very difficult, very difficult. So brahmacharya is taught therefore from childhood. So this is what its point is. It is taught from childhood. And one who has no knowledge of sex life. So when one has no knowledge, that time it is taught. So all these cases which are coming today, like this modern rape cases and all, is all because of this one reason. If children are taught from childhood, if they are not affected and they are inclined in spiritual life, then they will not go astray only on this way, and they will not do this nonsense which they are doing, killing and all things. They will never do. And therefore, this spiritual education given in childhood is very, very important. And children at the age of 5 are sent to Gurukula or a place of spiritual master, and the master trains the young boys in strict discipline of becoming brahmacharis. So the training starts at the age of 5. Most of times when we become devotees at the age of 20, 30, 40, we don't know. At that time, this knowledge comes to us. And we think we are very late. Actually, it should be given to us in the childhood. So whatever the case may be, whenever we come, but at least we should impart it to the next generation when they are young. We should try to do so that their lives are being saved. And they will not go through all this, what we have gone through. So they are sent Gurukula as place of spiritual master, and they are trained. They are in strict discipline of becoming. So it's very important. A person who is strictly disciplined can only become a disciple. If one is not disciplined, one cannot become a disciple. And therefore, there are so many rules and regulations. And therefore, sometimes we chastise, sometimes we give regulations. So one should not feel unhappy that why I'm being told this and this. No, without being disciplined, one cannot become a disciple. Not possible. Not possible at all. And therefore, this is also one of the practices which one needs to be done. Because now everyone says, I want liberation, I want to be free, I want to do what I like and the way I want. No, it's not the way of spiritual advance. One will never advance. See, even if one wants some education, basic education, one wants an SSC certificate, one wants a college certificate, one has to surrender to the college of the teachers. Otherwise, one will not get knowledge. If somebody goes to a teacher and says, shows a knife and tells, give me knowledge, teacher will not be obliged to give. And even if she gives, she will not give the blessings also. And the teacher will not even remember or understand all things. So therefore, any place one needs surrender to understand things. And therefore, if one is not surrender, one will not learn the things also. It will be superficial spirituality. And surrender means that the master will chastise sometimes will praise, sometimes will give so many things. Otherwise, if one wants to do what one wants to do, then no need of going to spiritual master only. No need to understand things or learn something. One can do its own pace, its own home and something. And that is also not bad. One can do if one cannot tolerate. Instead of doing Guru Avagya or something, better to practice at home. But if one goes to some Guru, and it may be Siksha Guru or Diksha Guru, whatever it may be, one has to restrain his or her senses. Otherwise, one will not grow in one's spiritual life. Very, very important thing. Like today's time, it is said that the power of speech, it is my duty. I need to speak. I need to speak whatever is by heart. So that was not the case for in previous life. One will hear one's father or mother, and one will not go against them. And if sometimes they are even wrong, I will not say that always they are right. No. If sometimes even they are wrong, still they are to be respected. And therefore, very important to note that one of the most important thing is to go by the will of the spiritual master. So the master trained the young ones to this of become brahmachari. Without such practice, no one can make advancement in any yoga, whether it be dhyan, gyan, or bhakti. So even for bhakti yoga is necessary. See, without such practice, no one can make advancement in any yoga. Not possible. Whatever yoga. One who, however, follows the rules and regulations of married life, having a sexual relation only with his wife. So this is one criteria, only with his wife. So these extramarital affairs which are going on today's world are actually a chaos. And that also under regulation. See, under regulation is also called a brahmachari. So it does not that brahmachari means one does not marry. It is one marries, but one follows dharma. Even in the married life, that is called a brahmachari. So that person is, or that Mataji or Prabhuji is also called brahmachari. Such a restrained householder brahmachari may be accepted in the bhakti school, but the jnana and dhyana schools do not even admit householder brahmacharis. So if you see this person who are doing Ashtanga Yoga, mostly they will remain celibate for whole life, and they will not even become householders. So therefore, this is impractical in today's world, because not to marry itself in today's life and age time is it's next to impossible. One will not. It's not easy to remain brahmachari for whole life. It's impossible. So therefore, it's written that this practices of jnana, dhyana, and all are not practical for today's. Only bhakti is practical. They require complete abstinence from without compromise. In the bhakti school, a householder brahmachari is allowed controlled sex life because the cult of bhakti yoga is so powerful that one automatically loses sexual attraction, being engaged in the superior service of the Lord. So, when one does bhakti, one himself endeavors, and there is mercy also. And because the Lord is powerful, even after engaging in this way, the Lord helps the devotee to come out of the whole life and become situated in spiritual life. But what happens in dhyan and other yogas, one endeavors himself, and because of own endeavors, what happens is one fails many times. So in the Bhagavad Gita it is said, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina raso varjan rasopi asya param deshtva nivartate. Whereas others are forced to restrain themselves from satisfaction, a devotee of the Lord automatically refrains because of superior taste. Other than a devotee, no one has any information of that superior taste. So, other things like they restrain, don't do this, don't talk like this, don't do that. So that is restraint. Every time you restrain. But devotee, automatically done. Because whatever one does for Krishna. So when one declares oneself, one does why? So that Krishna can see. So whatever propensity one has, if one does for Krishna, automatically what happens is his senses are satisfied. And therefore, he automatically can do attain superior taste. But other than devotees, what happens? People restrain themselves without having some superior cause, and therefore they are forced, but most of the time they fail. Vigata bhi, one cannot be fearless unless one is fully in Krishna consciousness. A conditioned soul is fearful to his perverted memory, but his forgetfulness of his relation with Krishna. So, till the time one is not fully Krishna conscious, one will not be fearful. Like we have started our devotional service, but still we have not reached, and therefore we see that sometimes we are also fearful. So, because why? Because of the perverted memory and forgetfulness of his relation with Krishna. So, when one realizes one relation with Krishna, then what happens is one understands one is Sat Chid Ananda. And Sat means is always there. Chit means is knowledge, and Ananda is always blissful. So when one revises that Sat Chid Ananda Swarup or that memory, what happens? One is never ever fearful then. And therefore, one should try to again develop that relationship. The Bhagavatam says, Bhayam Dvitiya Bhinivesha Sata. So Sat Isat Apetyasya Viparyaya Smita. Krishna is the only base for fearfulness. So, therefore, perfect practice is possible for the person who is Krishna consciousness. And since the ultimate goal of yoga practice is to see the Lord within, a Krishna person is already the best of all yogis. The principle of the yoga system mentioned herein are different from those of the popular so-called yoga societies. So, a devotee of Krishna is always seeing Krishna in his heart, in all the activities seeing Krishna, and therefore is the best of all the yogis. And this actual principle of yoga is to connect with Lord and not to do just body exercise and all. So, which is there in today's yoga society. So, this is what the meaning is. Now, verse number 15, it says, what is the goal of Ashtanga Yoga? Yunjanevam sadatmanam yogi niyata manasa shantim nirvana paramam matstham samstham arikachati. Thus, practicing constant control of the body, mind, and activities, the mystic transcends his mind regulated, attains the kingdom of God or the abode of Krishna by cessation of material existence. So, what is the goal? Why one is practicing so difficult things? So that one material activities are curtailed, they are ceased, and one attains the Lord's kingdom. So, because of this, one is doing so much endeavor. The ultimate goal in practice of yoga is now clearly explained. Yoga practice is not meant for attaining any kind of material facility. It's to enable the cessation of all material existence. One who seeks an improvement in health or aspires after material perfection is no yogi according to Bhagavad Gita. So most of people go for yoga so that health is improved and there are some material benefits. So actually it may call exercises or something, but it's not yoga. Yoga means one has to connect with Lord. There is no other way. So nor does cessation of material existence entails one's enter into the void, which is only a myth. So sometimes something that I do no activity now. So that is also not useful because that will not allow oneself to enter void. There is no void anywhere within the creation of the Lord. Rather, the cessation of material existence enables one to enter into the spiritual sky, the abode of the Lord. The abode of the Lord is also clearly described in the Bhagavad Gita as that place where there is no need of sun, moon, or electricity. So, very beautifully is explained that this abode of the Lord is how much? Nasat bhasate suryo naschantona pavaka. So there is no need of sun, moon, electricity. It is self-effulgent. No need. So all the planets in the spiritual kingdom are self-limited, like the sun in the material sky. The kingdom of God is everywhere, but the spiritual sky and the planets thereof are called Param Dhama, superior abodes. So these are superior and there are also hierarchy. There are a lot of Vaikunthas and every devotee, somebody may be a devotee of Ramchandra, so he'll go to Ayodhya Dham. Somebody may be a devotee of Narsim Bhagwan, so he may go to Narsim Bhagwan Dham. Somebody may be a devotee of Lakshmi Narsimha, somebody devotee of Vishnu, so he'll go to Vaikuntha Loka. So like this, somebody may be devotee of Vara avatar, somebody Kurma avatar, somebody be devotee of Krishna. And even in devotee of different things, somebody in Krishna also, somebody may be devotee in the Aishwarya Bhav, somebody in the Madhurya Bhav. So there's a place for everybody. There's a place for everybody in the spiritual world, and no one is better than others or worse than others. Somebody in his heart, Ram is better, then he should worship Ram. There is no point that only Krishna is the best or we should worship only Krishna. No. Whatever faith one has, it is given by Krishna only, that you worship for this or you worship this or this. So based on faith which one has, one will consider this or that supreme, and in this way worship. So in material, if we look at the material things also, see somebody goes to electronic college, becomes an engineer or something like this, electrical or something, and somebody goes in the medical field, becomes a doctor. So medicine is also good, electricity or sorry, engineering college is also good. So both are good in their own places. One cannot say that medicines are better than engineering college and only we should have medical colleges. We should have not have any engineering college. No, from tomorrow onwards we'll have only medical college. No, this doesn't work. One needs an engineer, one needs a medical practitioner, one needs every type of person. Similarly, one may be a devotee of Rama, one may be a devotee of Krishna, one may be a devotee of any person. So that is all fine. One should just progress in one's own spiritual practices. That is what is important. And therefore, the kingdom of God is everywhere. This one should understand that his kingdom is everywhere. One needs to just connect. When we are sitting here discussing about class also, if one is very intimately connected, then we can understand Krishna is sitting next to us. We may be hearing or not, we don't know, but Krishna is definitely hearing what we are speaking. He's definitely here. So that should be our faith. A consummate yogi who is perfectly understanding Lord Krishna, as is clearly stated herein by the Lord himself, mat chitta mat para mat sthanam, can attain real peace and ultimately reach his supreme abode Krishna Loka, known as Goloka Vrindavan. So, all this yogi also, one who understands Krishna very perfectly, now what happens is, he attains Goloka Vrindavan. In the Brahman Samhita 500, it is said in Goloka eva nivasati akhila bhutam. So, the Lord, although residing always in is abode called Goloka, is all pervading Brahman and the localized Paramatma as well as by the dint of his spiritual, superior spiritual energies. So, everything we see has a personal aspect and an impersonal aspect. So, both aspects are there for everything, every person, everybody. Just like we see Vayu, the air. So Vayu Dev is a personal aspect, but the air which we breathe is an impersonal aspect. So both are there in anybody. Like sun. Sun is personal, but sun rays, if we see, they are effulgent everywhere, is impersonal form. So both are there in every person, and therefore we should not fight that this is better or that is better or this or that. No. Whatever the person is somebody the devotee of Krishna, for him Krishna is better. Somebody wants to merge him, number for them, Brahman is better. So according to the faith one has, the conviction one has about something, that thing is better for that person. No one can reach the spiritual sky or enter the Lord's eternal abode Golok Vrindavan without proper understanding of Krishna and his planetary expression Vishnu. And therefore, till the time one has doubts, one does not gain knowledge, it's not easy to go back to God. And therefore, at once what we do is we chant to purify ourselves, and also we read so that our doubts are cleared, that what we are worshipping, for whom we are worshipping, and how we should worship. So all these doubts are there everywhere. And therefore, most people sometimes when they come, they say, oh, I didn't knew only, I can also chant. I thought that only person who are vegetarian or who are Brahmins, they can only chant. I didn't know anybody can chant. Like this, if the doubts are clear, then one may practice bhakti very easily. And therefore, in our Pune, there's a camp called Samshay Nash Bhakti Prakash. So when the doubts are clear, Samshay is doubts, when they're clear, then bhakti comes. And therefore, very important that one hears daily and clears one's doubt, either by hearing or one, if not by hearing, then one can ask questions that, oh, I could not understand this or this thing. So one should not think that it's very simple, I should not waste time or this. No, nothing like this. One should clear doubts. If one has to progress, one has to clear doubts. Till the time one has samshaya, one will not be able to progress further. And therefore, this samshaya should always be curtailed. So, very important thing. So, proper understanding of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, person working Krishna consciousness is the perfect yogi because his mind is always absorbed in Krishna's activities. So, where is our mind absorbed? That is very important. Savai mana Krishna padaravindayo. So, how different, Amrish Maharaj in Canto 9, 418 says how different parts of body can be used in the service of Krishna. Like with eyes, we can see Krishna. With hands, we can serve the Lord or his devotees. We can make nice prasadam, a nice bhoga for him. And with the tongue, we can vibrate the holy name and we can eat the prasadam. With legs, we can go to different pilgrimage places. And like this, everything what we have, we should engage in the spiritual. So that is what Amrish Maharaj says to all. In the Vedas also, Svetas Upanishad 3 point, we learn Tameva viditvati mrityumeti. One can overcome the path of birth and death only by understanding the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna. In other words, perfection of yoga system is the attainment of freedom from materialization and not same magical jugglery or gymnastic feats to befool innocent public. So, innocent people are being misled. So, if one wants to get out of the cycle of birth and death, one needs to understand the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna. So, is also very important thing. So now, in verse number 16 and 17, the different recommendations are given in Ashtanga Yogas, the don'ts and the regulations of, they are given now in these verses 16 and 17. So let's recite verse number 16. Nati asnatastu atu yogi asti na chaikantam asannata na chati swapna silasya jagrato neva charjuna. There is no possibility of one becoming a yogi or Arjuna if one eats too much or eats too little, sleeps too much or do not sleep enough. These are very important things. See, these are often overlooked things, very, very often overlooked things. But this affects our bhakti very much. What? Eating too much or eating too little. So sometimes there is a feast and some items come which you like. Feast means that not only with FISH feast, FESH feast means there is some opportunity where there's unlimited items can for eating, weight and food. So when such thing comes, what happens is one eats irregularly. So eats more than what is required. And second, sometimes one doesn't like, one will not eat much. So one cannot become a yogi, one cannot become bhakti if one eats too little or too much. One cannot practice bhakti yoga. So bhakti yoga cannot be practiced if one is in too much happiness or too much distress. Too much happiness will also not allow one to practice bhakti, because if one has all the happiness in the world, why would he go to the Lord? Till the time some things are taken away, then only one goes to the Lord. Oh, I have done no wrong. Why are you taking away this? And therefore, if one has too much of even suffering, one cannot practice bhakti. Like suppose one eats too much, one gets indigestion. Then what has to do? One has to take so much medicine for clearing the indigestion. One need to do things, and therefore one cannot practice bhakti. Therefore, one who eats too much or too little will never ever practice bhakti. Even sleeps too much or does not sleep enough. So sometimes we see devotees, they say, I want to chant quiet down. So somebody says, I will wake up at 4 o'clock. Somebody says, I will wake up at 3 o'clock. Then says, somebody 2 o'clock. So like this, sometimes this competition go on. But at what cost? If somebody is sleeping at 10, 11 p.m. and wants to get up 2 a.m., long run he will spoil his health. And therefore, one should not sleep too little. At the same time, it's not that one sleeps at 8, 9 o'clock in the night and morning 4, 5 o'clock till that is done is not, he or she is not getting up. So that is also not good. So this has to be regulated, and this is the easiest thing to be regulated. Other things which we saw need so many things to be done. But here, our sleeping, we should see what time we are sleeping, what time we are getting up. So according to Ayurveda, I'm just attending the Indian Knowledge System sessions which are going on in our Govardhan Eco Village. So the Ayurveda session, according to Ayurveda, the best sleep is between 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. There is the best time to sleep. And for getting that means it is a deep sleep. For getting at 10 p.m. sleep, one has to go to bed at 9 p.m. 9:30. So that what happens within 1 hour something, he will go in deep in sleep. So from 10 to 2, he should be deep in sleep. And then one may wake up around after 3, maybe 3:30, 4 or something. So that is very important. And if one tries to do wake nights, they want to wake up in the night, and one sleeps in the day, that sleep will never be covered, never ever, because night is made for covering, and our body, when we sleep, does so many functions which will not be able to do. And in the long run, one will be frustrated, agitated, and will have so many diseases. And therefore, just some simple things about eating and sleeping can help one. Like last time we saw one person was very angry, very angry. And we didn't know why he is so much angry. And then we come to he didn't sleep much. So what happens, one doesn't sleep much, one is naturally agitated. And because of that, he was becoming angry. So that should be regulated in both these things. Otherwise, one will not be able to practice bhakti in the long run. So regulation of diet and sleep is recommended herein for yogis. Too much eating and means eating more than is required is to keep the body and soul together. There is no need for men to eat animals because there is ample supply of grains, vegetables, fruits, and milk. Such simple foodstuff is considered to be in the mood of goodness according to the Bhagavad Gita. Animal food is for those who are in the mode of ignorance. Therefore, those who indulge in animal food, drinking, smoking, eating food, which is not first offered to Krishna, will suffer sinful reaction because of eating only polluted things. So, these drinks and all, anyways, we cannot offer to Krishna, and therefore, one eats polluted. See, nowadays, people call we are rational, we are modern, we are educated, we are more intelligent. Like this, they give so many things. But simple things they don't know, that they are smoking, they are drinking. So by giving money to others to make them rich, they are destroying themselves. They're destroying their liver, they're destroying their whole respiratory system, by destroying their mouth, having cancer and all. So what will we call these people? Are they intelligent? Not at all. An intelligent person will preserve his body, not destroy his body. And therefore, if we see further, if you go in Bhagavad Gita, the principles will come. How to stay in the mode of goodness. 2 or 3 chapters are dedicated. What is eating in the mode of goodness? How does one talk in the mode of goodness? Whom to give charity in the mode of goodness. So like this, so many points are described. Just so that one stays in this mode. Otherwise, it's not easy to do bhakti. Bhakti cannot be done in the mode of passion and ignorance. Please note this. See, one can start bhakti in the mode of passion and ignorance, but if one wants to sustain its bhakti in the long run, gradually one has to come in the mode of goodness. If one is not coming in the mode of goodness, his bhakti is not powerful. It is not temporary. Why? Because he's doing nam aprad. See, what do you mean that one is doing bhakti in the mode of tamogun or rajogun or ignorance and passion? Means while chanting, one is calculating things. I will do this, I will do this, I will do this. Or one is like, oh, I will not leave this. This should be done, that should be done. So these are all tamoguni thoughts. So this type of thoughts, when we do japa and all, is detrimental to our spiritual life. And we should try to avoid this, and as far as possible come to mode of goodness. And for coming from the movements, one can plant tulsi and one can chant in front of tulsi. One can have photos of spiritual masters or Krishna or somebody. One should think that I am chanting for the pleasure of Krishna, that Krishna should hear. So in this way, we can become more conscious of what we are doing, chanting, hearing, and in this way, we can get more benefit. And therefore, uh, we should progress in the mode of goodness. So such food stuff is centered in the mode of goodness. Animal food is fall in the mode of ignorance. Therefore, those who indulge in animal food, drinking, smoking, eating food, is not will suffer sinful reactions because of eating only polluted things. Anyone who eats for sense pleasure or cooks for himself, not offering his food to Krishna, eats only sin. So, very important thing that when one eat for our own sense satisfaction and not offer the food Krishna is only eating sin. So one should try that whatever one does, one should try to offer it to Krishna. And there are some art things which we cannot offer to Krishna, and we should not eat that things only. So therefore, very important that one should offer to Krishna. One who eats sins and eats more than is allotted to him cannot execute perfect yoga. It is best that one eat only the remnants of foodstuffs offered to Krishna. So very important thing that one should only eat what is offered to Krishna and not otherwise. Sometimes this poses challenge when we are traveling. So while traveling, I think we can have a photo and offer that. So in this way, we can take prasadam. One who eats sin and eats more important for him cannot execute perfect yoga. It is best that one eat only the remnants offered to Krishna. A person in Krishna consciousness does not eat anything which is not first offered to Krishna. So this is what Prabhupada wants a standard from us, that if we eat something, we should offer it to Krishna. And sometimes if it's very, very urgent, at least we can offer it mentally. The best and recommend is physically. One should say, but if some emergency case come where it is not possible, then at least one should offer mentally that I'm offering this and then only take, otherwise not. Therefore, only in Krishna conscious person can attain perfection in yoga practice. Nor can one who can artificially abstain from eating manufacture his own personal process of fasting practice yoga. So we see that nowadays so many people have started this yoga practice and all. So this cannot happen. So only a Krishna conscious person can attain perfection, no other person. And no one can artificially abstain from eating, manufacturing his own personal process of fasting. So we see that so many people fast for some political reasons, that I want the seat. Like we see Karna used to give charity, not that he wanted to give, but he wanted the power by giving charity, which comes to him to defeat Arjuna. So that was not a noble cause. And therefore, one should not start one's personal process of fasting, practice yoga. No. The Krishna conscious person observes fasting is recommended in scriptures. So what scriptures recommend? That on the day of Ekadashi, one should fast. On the day of the Janma or of all the lords, there is a feasting. Then when there is Janmati or when disappearance of great saints, then also there is all these things. So that time we should fast for that and ask for mercy from that great sage. The Krishna person observes fasting is according to the scriptures. He does not fast or eat more than required. So nothing is good, nor fasting is good, nor eating more is good. Both have its own benefits and own disadvantages. So we should do what is required at this point in time. One who eats more than required will dream very much while sleeping. See, the connection is given. So when one eats more, what happens? He gets lot of dreams. And second thingly, is our cook is not good. then gradually we'll also have some dreams or something like this, and it will not be easy. Uh, and he must consequently sleep more than required. So when you eat more or eat late at night, what happens is the sleep time is increased. One should not sleep more than 6 hours daily. So this is recommended by Prabhupada that one should sleep only 6 hours a day. That's all. One who sleeps more than 6 hours of the 24 hours is certainly influenced by the mode of ignorance. A person in the mode of ignorance is lazy and prone to sleep a great deal. Such a person cannot perform yoga. So anybody, if is sleeping more than required, then he will not be able to perform yoga. So sleeping or eating, if it is more than required, he'll have to suffer the most. Again, 17th slok also talks about the recommendation which one has to do. युक्ताहार विहारस्य युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मणो युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योग भवति दुःखः. He who is regulated in the habit of eating, sleeping, recreational work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. So one should be very much regulated in time of eating, regulated of what he is eating. So these very important things like habits of eating, what time one sleeps. So if one sleeps at same time every day, automatically mind knows that this time the person will sleep, and the mind helps the person in a way. So this habits of sleeping, eating, recreation. Sometimes people say only work, work, work. No, we need also recreation and work can all mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga stuff. So who does this regulated habits? Regulated means in limited quantity or something. So or what is required. So when one does like this, what happens? He can mitigate all material pains. So such person by practicing the yoga system, he can mitigate all pains. Purport: extra vegans in the matter of eating, sleeping, defending, and mating, which are the demands of the body, can block advancement in the practice of yoga. So anything which is done more will block advancement. Why? Because time is lost. We have limited time. If we are sleeping more than required, it doesn't mean we should be sleep deprived. No, there is another problem. So if we are sleeping more, what happens? The time is lost in sleeping. Then how can we practice our yoga system? Similarly, if we eat more, time will be more gone in eating. At the same time, the body will take more time to process, and therefore, double time is lost. When the body is processing the food, we cannot do much heavy exercise or something heavy work also. So therefore, this time is lost. Then one does more than defending. Then one needs to defend from here, then also time. And last, when one does more of mating and all, that also time is wasted. And when time is wasted, this time which could be used for devotion service is not used. Therefore, one does not make advance, and therefore such things block advance in the practice of yoga. As far as eating is concerned, it can be regulated only when one is practiced to take and accept prasadam. So this also requires practice. So in bhakti, so many people say it's naturally, it should come out of his own. It's not the case. Actually, it's a more of practice only. Like if you want some qualities, you need to practice. If you want to do yoga, you need to practice. So practice is more important. Otherwise, one cannot make advancement. As far as it is concerned, they are regulated only when we take Krishna Prasadam. Lord Krishna is offered according to Bhagavad Gita, vegetables, fruits, flowers, grains, etc. In this way, a person in Krishna consciousness becomes automatically trained not to accept food not meant for human consumption or not in the category of goodness. So, if one wants to stay in the mode of goodness, the change will start from eating what one eats. So, if one is eating passionate foods, tamasic foods, then one cannot come in the mode of goodness. So, it all starts from tongue, what we are putting in. So, when we eat the things in the mode of goodness, then what happens is our body gets the nutrients, the rasas in the mode of goodness, and the whole day we can be in the mode of goodness. Otherwise, not possible. As far as sleeping is concerned, a Krishna conscious person is always alert in discharge of his duties, Krishna conscious. And therefore, any unnecessary time spent in sleeping is considered a great loss. Avyartha kalatvam. So, we'll just discuss its purport and we'll go to this verse and see what is avyartha kalatvam, because it's a very important thing. How do we know we are progressing in bhakti? What are the symptoms? So, this all is described here. So, we'll see after completing this purport. A Krishna conscious person cannot bear to pass a minute of his life without being engaged in the service of the Lord. So, if one is not engaged in the service of the Lord, then one considers that that time is lost. Therefore, his sleeping is kept to the minimum. His ideal in the respect is Srila Rupa Goswami, who is always engaged in the service of Krishna and who could not sleep more than 2 hours a day. So we know Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Satan Goswami did not sleep more than 1.5 to 2 hours. They used to chant 64 rounds, write books, do Vindan Parikama and so many things. These are idle. And sometimes not even that. Thakur Haridas would not even accept prasadam, not even sleep for a moment without finishing his daily routine of chanting his within breaths 300,000 names. So if somebody can do this, one should try that after completing one's prescribed rounds only, one will take prasadam and all. So that will be a great boost. If somebody is chanting early, if somebody is chanting in the night, one may think that till the time my chanting is not over, I will not eat dinner. Or something like this. If one wants to grow more, then one can even check this way. And then as far as, and if you see Haridas Thakur, he will not chant 16 rounds. Actually, he's chanting 192 rounds. So 192 rounds, if we do, all our day, 24 hours will go for chanting only. So therefore, very important thing that what vow Haridas Thakur has taken is not ordinary vow. Even if he's doing very fast chanting, still it will take 12 hours. So suppose one starts at 2 or 3, till afternoon one has to remain every day empty stomach only. So therefore, very important thing that he does. As far as work is concerned, a Krishna conscious person does not do anything which is not connected with Krishna's interest. So one does not endeavor simply for some gain here and there if it is not connected with Krishna. And thus, his work is always regulated and is untainted by sense gratification. Since there is no question of sense gratification, there is no materialistic leisure for a person in Krishna consciousness. And because he is regulated on all his work, speech, sleep, and wakefulness, and all his body activities, there is no material misery for him. So, there is no material misery also for him. And he is always regulated. So, let's see this 23.1819. So, first is Shanti, that is forgiveness. So, one is able to forgive. So, if one is not able to forgive, he will not be able to do bhakti nicely, because every time his mind will go, oh, he has done this, he has done this. So this quality of forgiveness is very much important thing if one wants to advance very fast in bhakti. Avyartha kalatvam, one does not waste time. Then viraktir is absence of any attachment. It's detached person. So he's very detached from material things. Virakti doesn't mean he's detached from Krishna. He's detached from material things. Then mana shunyata. So mana shunyata is absence of false prestige, that one does not have, one will not be giving so much respect or something. So that is where asha bandha, there is hope. Another quality which one has, that is hope. He always have hope. If I cannot attend today Krishna, maybe tomorrow I will attend, maybe day after tomorrow, but he always hopeful. He never ever loses hope. So one who comes to a bhava stage, he will not waste time. He will always forgive others, then he will be detached, then he will be not have this false prestige. He doesn't want respect and all. So this is an important thing. Then Asha Bandha is hope, and Samutkantha is eagerness. So what is Samutkantha and what is hope? What is the difference between both? See, hope is what? I do my work and maybe today, tomorrow I will get the result. I am hopeful. I am not given up. And what is eagerness? I will just give you one example. Suppose we are in Bombay Center and we want to go to Vrindavan. And the train has started from maybe some other place and be coming to Bombay Center. And what has happened is already this announcement, the train is 2 hours already late. And we are waiting when the train is coming, train is coming, train is coming. And that time, so happens is there's some announcement. And the train which we want to go is going to come in some time. So, and then one sees that there is a voice coming when a train will pass. And what we do, we are standing on the platform, we look up. We look up and we are going to see when the train is coming, when the train is coming. So this is called Samutkantha. So Kantha is our neck, and eagerness to see. So one is very eager when the train is coming, when the train is coming. So one is hope and one is eagerness. So that's called Samutkantha. That there's Utkantha in him, he wants to see the things, eagerness. And then Nama Gane Sada Ruchi. So he's always chanting the holiness of God. He is not blaspheming others, he is not Nindaka. What he does is always chanting, hearing some shloka here, there, whatever one remembers, one always do that. And that doesn't mean that one should not learn more. One should, if the opportunity is there. Namagana Saruchi. Then Asakti Tat Gunakhyane. So Guna Akhyana means Guna is qualities. Akhyana means transcendental qualities. So describing transcendental qualities, Akhyana is here. So Asakti means attachment for whom we should have to hear the glories of Lord. And Priti Stad Vasati Stale. So wherever Krishna has went, Vrindavan, in all the places, we should have Priti, that here, oh, this is my place. I should have done this. So iti adaya anubhavasyu jata bhavanupurajana. So these symptoms are important. If one wants to check how much one has progressed in devotional, this one should check with these 9 symptoms. Are we able to forgive? Are we concerned that time should not be wasted? Are we detached from material things? Are there absence of false pressures? Do we have hope? Are we eager? Are we testing the chanting of holy name? And are we attached to the description of qualities of Lord and affection for those places of Lord resides? So there's temple based now Vrindavan. So this is called bhavas. So therefore, one should have these things if one wants to practice devotional service. So one should always go and check where one is. So if one wants to progress in devotional service, one needs to always check where one is. In this way, one can progress in devotional service. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.